Hi viewers, for this video let us continue with input statements in Python. So we are going to see how to take input in Python. Earlier we have seen how to use the values assigned to variables in the programming construct. So today we are going to use the input statement to take input into a variable. Now the syntax goes like this. Variable is equal to input. Within that you can give the prompt. Inside the prompt you can mention what has to be taken as input. So let us see it with an example of the same code which we have used. Finding area of rectangle. But in this code we are going to take it as input. So we have the code, right? So here we have assigned length and breadth. So instead I want to take it as a user given input. So let us see how it is. Same variable assignment, but you are not going to assign to a fixed value. Instead you are going to give input, enter length. So this is a prompt which I mentioned. That is, you are prompting that length is the value which is supposed to be entered here. Similarly, input as a function, inside that you give enter breadth, right? So now the value which you are taking with this is going to be used for the calculation. So now let us run this. You can see it's prompting enter length, I'm giving 12, enter breadth, I'm giving 23. But do you expect an output now? Check it out. It's giving an error because the input statements by default, whatever input it takes will assign it as a string. So you have to explicitly convert it to an integer. So whenever you are taking an integer input, you have to give int, the data type to which the input will get converted to. Look carefully, int is also a function, int opening brackets, and your whole input goes inside that int function. And now let's check it out. Run module. Now enter length, I'm giving 12, enter breadth, giving 11. So you got 12 multiplied by 11. So let us give the output with clarity by prompting. Before you print length into breadth, you can say area of rectangle is equal to, okay, after you give the text you separate it by comma before you give the value. So now you can see enter length, I'm giving 10, and breadth is 6, so area of rectangle is 60. Now this program is legible because it is documented properly with necessary prompts for input and output. So let me show you the program again. You can see we have given what is the program for using an hashtag. We have prompted like what is this program for, and the input statement goes like this. Variable name is equal to int of input. Suppose you want to take it as a decimal value, you can give it as float. Hope you remember the data types we have seen. Suppose I have a decimal value to be entered, I can give float of input function and you're prompting init. So this prompt is optional. Even without this it will work, but it won't tell you what is being expected, right? So now let us run and give what is a float function going to do along with the input. So you can see enter length. I can give a decimal value also here. Now the area of rectangle is calculated as a decimal. So now here what happens if I don't give a prompt? Will it give an error? I told you prompt is optional. So I'm not giving any prompt. Now without this, when I try to run it, so you can see it is not prompting anything. Simply the cursor is expecting an input over there. Here also you can give the value, right? But you don't know what you're giving. If somebody else is running the program, they will not know what has to be supplied as input there. So giving and prompt along with input is necessary so that you can make out what is being given as input, right? So the prompt can be simple, but you have to enclose it within double quotes as a text. Whatever you enter, it will appear as it is. Understood? So using the same input function, you can try out the other programs to take input. Let me show you one more example in taking the marks of students. Okay. So in student marks, okay, we change the same program to simple interest. Okay, let's take simple interest. Do you understand the advantage of giving input statement? Because the user can try out any input in this. Whereas if the variable is assigned to a value, a literal, it is a constant, it is fixed to only that value inside that program. Enter principal amount. Right. Time period. So time period also, I'll take it as integer. Enter time period and rate of interest. So this can be a float. So now you are printing as it is what input has been obtained, and then just giving the simple interest with the calculation, principal into time into rate by 100. Now let us run this code. So it's asking principal amount. So giving a float, I can give an integer also. It automatically converts to float. You can see when it is giving the output, principal is 5,000, time is 4 years, and rate of interest is 5. So simple interest is 5,000 into 4 into 5 by 100, which is 1,000, right? So we have learned how to take input in a program. I hope you have tried the program given in try it yourself section. I want you to update it by taking input using input command. So that's all for this video. Bye.